Hi seamstress, welcome back to my channel. In today's video we shall be drafting a pattern for this gorgeous vintage evening dress. A bit of stand analysis before we commence. The dress has a v-neckline and it also has a button stand, and towards the lower part the fabric around that area is ruched. Without so much talk, let's get started. Here is my basic bodice block, and all we're going to do to this block is just to go ahead and draft our V neckline. I'm just going to go ahead now and do something like this. You decide how deep you want your V neckline to be. I'll then go ahead and trim it off. V neckline successfully created. Next, I'm going to go ahead and make a button stand. Back from the illustration, the button stand is going to be 1 inch wide. For that reason, I'm just going to go ahead and cut a piece of paper and attach to my center front area here and make it my button stand. I'm going to be using this. I'll attach it with tape so it would serve as my button stand. So this here is my button stand. And remember, your button stand doesn't form part of your basic bodice block. You draft it differently. I'm using this for contrast. So next thing I'm going to do is just to go ahead and slash this line. We're not going to touch our darts, and like I've always told you, in situations where you don't need to do anything to your dart, especially the upper bodice, it is always advisable to use 2 darts. This is because having 2 darts gives a perfect fitting to your bust area. Now that I have my button stand, I'm going to take it aside and then go ahead and separate the upper bodice from the lower bodice. I'm also going to set this aside and work with this. Now it is time for us to go ahead and do a bit of fabric manipulation. To do our fabric manipulation, we're going to first go ahead and manipulate our darts. We're going to close this dart and redirect it to a different place. To do that, I'm just going to go ahead and draw a straight line from somewhere around my side and bring it towards the center front. So for the upper part of the skirt, I'm just going to go ahead and draw a line like this that touches the base of my dart. Then go ahead and close this dart. First, I'll slash the line towards the end, but not to cut it off completely. Just slash it and stop few meters away from the end of the paper. You then come back here, slash this line towards the end, but not completely off. Don't trim it off completely. You leave few meters as well. This is so you'd be able to rotate and move your piece. Now I'm just going to go ahead, raise this up like this, and then push this piece under. So if you're unable to close this dart properly and smoothly by just pushing this under, it just goes to show that you did not that you still have few meters to slash. So what you do is you go back in with your scissors and slash some more, but be careful. You then push it under like this. As you can see, we have successfully created an opening here by transferring our darts. You go ahead and hold it down with a tip like this, and then you continue creating your slash lines. I'm going to go ahead and create slash lines, but before I create the slash lines, I'm going to decide the distance between my knee, which is going to create an opening, and the length of my dress. So I'm just going to go and decide how long I want my slit to be in the front. I'm just going to measure from the hem, because this is a long dress. We're just going to measure from the hem to the knee area. So from around here, I'm just going to go ahead and create slash lines from this point. My slash lines are not straight, they are slanted, and there's no hard and fast rule as to how to go about this. When slashing though, be very careful not to slash it off completely. Slash and leave few meters. This is to enable you spread evenly and with ease. So the next thing I'm going to go is to go ahead and spread. But before I do that, I'll place a piece of paper under on which I'm going to use to do the spread. I'll be back. So here, this is my brown paper. I have gone ahead and placed it and also drawn a guideline here with a marker. This is just so I'll know where to place the lower part of the pattern. Next I'm going to do is to start spreading. Now to spread it, there's no hard and fast rule as to how far apart you're going to spread. Just spread as you wish, or I would say as the spirit leads. Let's say from 2 inches. Let's just say 2 inches apart. So what will happen is from this end here, you're going to go ahead and measure 2 inches like this. When you measure the 2 inches, you mark, and then you spread the next you spread the next piece like this, and then you hold it down with a tip. Now from the end of this piece here, you go ahead and do the same thing. You measure 2 inches. That will be 5 centimeters. You place it like this. Make sure that everything is lying flat. You then go ahead and hold it with a tip as well. Now from the end of this, you go on ahead and spread same 2 inches. You hold it with a tip also. And then the last one, do the same thing, 2 inches. Like this as well. You hold. And for this one, you don't have to do much because this part, like this, is already spreading. So you just go on ahead and leave it like this. You hold everything down with a tip properly. You cut out the excess, and this will be the lower part of your pattern. We'll now go ahead and finish off the waistline. If you notice, it's crooked, so we're just going to go on and straighten it like this. And then for this part, as you can see, it's also crooked. We'll go ahead and straighten it as well. Let me use a contrasting color. To the hip area. We'll then go ahead and trim off the excess. So next, I'm just going to go ahead and fold it, then trim off the excess. To do that, you bring this piece down, up like this, and then followed by this other piece like this, and you bring this one down as well, and then unlike the previous ones where we have been folding upwards, in this case we're folding downwards because it's the down part that is constant. That's where the slit is. When we're done, there's going to be an opening here. This is going to be because we closed our darts. So, just going to go ahead with my scissors. And this is what we have for our lower part. This is what we have now. our button stand by usual. This is all our pattern pieces. You'd notice that there's a space around this place here. That's the difference between this upper part and the lower part. The reason is because we have closed the dart that used to be here and transferred it to this part. And for that reason, it's not going to be perfectly fitted around this area the way we are seeing it. However, by the time you close this dart on your own cloth, you'd realize that this waist area here fits into this. So this is how you go about it. First, you cut this piece of on your fabric, add an allowance and everything. You do the same thing for this one. You cut it on a piece of fabric, add allowance and everything. Next thing you do is to go ahead and join everything together, all the pieces together. Join the waist, especially, and when you're done joining the waist, or before you even join the waist, you then go ahead and create gathers around this point. To do that, you're just going to go ahead and create gathered stitch from this point here straight to the waist area. After creating your gathered stitch, you then gather it by pulling the fabrics together so it will fit into your original length. When you're done doing that, you then join these pieces together, the upper piece and the lower piece at the waist area. It is after you would have done that that you now go ahead and attach your button stand. You're going to go ahead and cut the back piece the same way we did this one. The only difference is you're just going to increase the depth of your neckline by, say, half an inch, and that's it. But not a V neckline. That's it. You're not going to separate these pieces together. The back is going to lie flat and straight. And that's how you go about this step. I hope you find this helpful. See you in the next tutorial. Bye.